Mark is out today. Nicorelli's out today, but that's okay. We've got so much to talk about.
I have leg room today.
Nice.
This is incredible.
So a little more FaceTime, a little more airtime, but there's a lot to talk about, Eric. The NBA Finals obviously underway. The series knotted at 1. Cardinals-Cubs down in St. Louis this weekend. Jim Tressel resigned this week. The NFL lockout's still underway, unfortunately, but we will talk about that. Big Diesel, Shaq Diesel retires.
Yeah, we have to get to that because that's where I did the majority of my research.
And I want to bring up the Buster Posey situation again because there's a few things I didn't bring up last week that I wanted to, and there's a few things that I talked about with friends and family that
you'd like to bring up now.
Failed to mention also that I would like to bring up, and I just think, well, there's a lot of other people that are talking now too. The Giants GM, the A's GM. Mike Matheny's a little angry, and he's a former catcher. So we'll talk about all those things, but let's first focus on the task at hand, the NBA Finals, Game 3, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. We'll have it here on Sports Radio 1450 in Dallas. Series tied 1-1, and I'll say this at first. The Mavs impressed me in Game 2.
Yeah.
Not so much in Game 1. Game 1 went exactly how I thought it would. It was a close game. All the way until it needed to be LeBron time, and then LeBron.
And then it was.
And then Game 2, though, am I wrong, Eric? Did Dallas steal one from him?
What kind of happened in Game 2 from what I saw, it kind of seemed like Miami was treating Dallas like the rest of the teams that they had played. If you watch the Chicago series, even the Philly and Boston series, when Miami would jump out to a big lead in the fourth quarter, they've been doing it all postseason, and then they start getting all excited. Something big happens, a big dunk, a big shot. LeBron starts beating his chest and growling at everyone, and they get all jacked up. And it really takes a toll on the opposing team. Like, it gets in their head. These teams have all looked defeated in the fourth quarter. When the Heat go on their run, they all look like they've given up. Well, this Dallas Mavericks team is a little bit different. I mean, they don't have the youth of the Bulls, and they have more energy and probably more confidence than the Celtics.
And you're not going to bother Kid.
No, you're not.
Or Dirk even. Dirk looks frustrated, but he's still not phased.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not phased. They can go down by 15 in the fourth quarter, and they're not shook. They know they have the time to come back, and they know they have the experience and the know-how. And, Miami went ahead 15, and they started coasting. I mean, they quit trying to get to the basket. They were settling for bad shots. They were running the play clock or the shot clock down, and it just, that Miami, I think, will do a good job of bouncing back. If you notice, they've lost one game every series, and they always seem to correct their mistakes. They got out-rebounded and outplayed down low by Chicago Game 1, and they never did again for the rest of the series. And it kind of feels like...
Is it different this time, though, because they're going back to Dallas? Right? On all the other series, when they lost one, they're going back to Miami, except for the Philly series. But
and
the Boston and Chicago, right?
That might be different. But, you also have to think Miami couldn't get 2 wins at home. Now, it'll probably be just as hard, if not harder, for Dallas to get 3 wins at home. This is the finals. Both these teams can play on the road, and can play on the road well. I actually don't think in this series that the home court advantage means too much because these teams are just just full of talent and good players and guys that don't get shook by things like that.
I agree. So, I said Heat in 5.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more, though, Heat in 6, like you guys said. So, but it's still a fun series. It could go 7. It'd be great if it went 7.
And everybody, this is what's great, dude. Everybody is bailing on the Heat now. And it's happened all season. I never did. When they were 9-8, everybody's like, see, this isn't going to work. No, it will. It's early. Yeah. It'll work.
It's just funny, everyone's day-to-day reaction.
Yeah. And then when they drop the games to all the top teams in the league during the regular season, nobody thinks they can get through the playoffs. No, they'll be okay. When they lose Game 1 against Chicago, everybody says, it's over. They can't bang with Chicago. No, it'll be okay. Don't bail. It's one game. I didn't hear anyone pick this series to go to only go 4 games. I didn't hear anyone pick this series to be a sweep.
Nope.
But everyone picked Miami to win. All of a sudden, now that Dallas has a win, everybody's like, jump ship. Miami can't handle.
It's very funny. Yeah. And I wouldn't mind if the Mavs won. I was just hoping the Heat would win in 5, so I'd be right.
It's fun to be right. That's my favorite thing.
But Dallas winning would not break my heart at all. I think Dirk deserves a ring. I think he does.
Well, I mean, if he can get one, then he deserves it.
Right.
You know.
But, well, yeah, you got to get one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
You got to get one first.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sad either, Adam. Honestly, everybody thinks I'm in love with the Heat, and I really enjoy watching them. But I just like good basketball, man. And if it's a good series and the Mavericks end up pulling out, a tough fought series, I'll be just fine with that.
Well, a good series is what I root for all the time, and if Dallas wins, I won't be heartbroken because I think Miami's going to be there for the next 5-7 years. Dallas, this might be their last shot with Kid and Dirk.
Yeah.
Game 3 tomorrow night, again here on Sports Radio 1450 at 7. They're going to start the pregame festivities at 6 o'clock here on Sports Radio 1450. Well, a big guy retired after 19 years. Eric, he has 4 rings.
Yeah.
He got 3 with L.A., 1 with Miami, and Shaq Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. What an outstanding career, and what just a all-around, entertaining guy on and off the floor.
It's just incredible. Like 19 seasons.
Crazy.
I mean, for a guy over 7 foot tall that's lugging around over 300 pounds, 19 seasons is unbelievable. I mean, big guys, their knees are shot. They got about 8-9 years of, good playing, and then it's time to hang them up.
Well, and he took some heat down, this last year or so, but it's you got to look back at the whole 19
Exactly.
years. I mean, Blue Chips came out in 1994.
They showed that, all day on HBO.
Did they?
Yesterday.
Did they?
Yeah.
Nice. Some neon.
Classic.
Right?
Nolte.
Penny Hardaway, where's
Anthony,
he at?
Anthony
where's he
there.
at? Did he play 19 years?
Oh,
Hell
no. No.
But Shaq Diesel, he had a record go platinum. I mean, was in several movies.
He's and they weren't good.
And they're but he was on the big screen. They asked him if he wanted to be a coach. I'm like, he's not going to be a coach. He's going to have a TV show in a year or two.
Well, you heard him.
He's already been on TV shows.
Did you hear the press conference from his house? Did you?
Oh yeah.
Right at the end, I loved how he just went ahead and threw his pitch out there for any of the stations that might want to hire him. He's ready.
He'll be hired.
Oh yeah, they'll be bidding for Shaquille O'Neal. What a great personality.
So where does he rank all time though, as far as big men? I know I saw this on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook, Sports 101 on Facebook. You can like us or be a fan of ours, or follow us on sportsradio1450.com as well. This is Sports 101 on Sports Radio 1450, and I listed them my top 5, Eric, and I put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at 1.
Yeah.
Just because I think he was unstoppable, dominant. And he was definitely a winner, too.
He sure was.
Wilt, obviously, was unstoppable, too, with the 100-point game. But, I know you can't do ifs and buts and whatever. He played in a different time where he was the guy. He was like Babe Ruth.
He was more than that.
You know what I mean? Back in the day.
It would be
So I have him at 2, though, and Shaq at 3.
Okay. And I get into these debates with people because I just kind of see it as if you put these guys both on a court, who would you rather have in their prime? And, for me, each era, as time goes further along, each era is better than the last. So the most dominant center from our era is going to be better than the most dominant center from the last era. And it goes with every position. And, so I went looking through all this because I wanted to see how good really was Bill Russell and how good was, Wilt Chamberlain really. And I'm looking, and man, these guys, it would be like LeBron if he were 8 feet tall in the NBA today. Wilt Chamberlain, he was 7'1" and 275, was going against guys. Listen, there were centers in the league, and I went and looked this up. 1962 was the year that he scored 100 points. And the 61-62 season was the season he averaged over 50 a game.
Okay.
And so I looked at some of the centers in the league.
This is where we need Mark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He remembers all these guys, I'm sure. I looked at some of the centers in the league at that time and what they were checking in at. All right, Bob Pettit, center, 6'9", 205. Yay. Cliff Hagan, 6'4", 210-pound forward. Dolph Shays, a 6'7", 195-pound center. Jumping.
It's like Nick Smith.
Oh, man. Jumping Johnny Green, except only 6'7". Jumping Johnny Green, 6'5", 200-pound center. Willie Knowles, a 6'6", 225-pound center. I mean, these guys are itty-bitty. I mean, can you imagine what a guy like Dwight Howard would do to these guys?
Dominate.
I mean, come on. I know he had a 100-point game. I know he had terrific seasons, but he, in today's game, 7'1", 275, yeah, you'll fit right in. That's what everybody